The last 3 weeks have been so hard since we were told Shayna went missing. I've already told you that her remains were found after 10 days, and it was Shayna, very close to her RV, but a long way to get there. And there's no answers. We still don't know what happened. We have some information, but I will tell you that for every bit of information we get, there's more questions, and we still don't know, and none of it makes sense. We don't know what happened. We don't know if it was something she did or someone else. The Sheriff's Office of Comal County is still searching for answers. Project Absentis, which has been amazing. They're a nonprofit organization out of Helotes, Texas, I believe, that are former FBI and CIA agents and other searchers that use different methods to try and find missing people. And they have been amazing. The community of Spring Branch and Bulverde, Canyon Lake, those people have been incredible. So supportive, so caring. They have gone above and beyond for Shayna and for us, and they're still doing it. They are organizing a memorial service for Shayna next Wednesday, the 17th, and again, the community is just doing everything they can to help the family. And we really appreciate that. We will be going to that service, and we look forward to thanking these people in person. But I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the community there, and I want to thank the searchers. I want to thank the Sheriff's Office and Project Absentis and the other agencies that helped to search. And also the other people that were part of the searches that found her. I truly believe that the reason Shayna's remains were found is because we were told from the very beginning that 90% of adults that go missing have walked away. They had a mental break. They have done something to themselves. They just leave. 90%. A very, very small number might have been abducted, but that is a very small percentage. But from the beginning, we did not believe she just walked away. And I have to say, from day one, we were not going to sit and wait to see if she walked away and see if she came back. Brian went to Texas and his family, and they went door to door through the community, the businesses, asking questions, handing out flyers, making the community aware that this had happened. They handed out a lot of flyers in a few days. They looked at security footage, everything they could do to possibly see if she had gone through any of those areas. I was at home and I felt helpless. But I thought, you know what, I have social media and it's time to use it. And I posted on Facebook and I asked for help. And then I made a video and I asked for help. And I'm going to tell you that so much awareness was raised that it even caught the attention of the authorities, that the community knew she was missing. And they might have never known that because the sheriff's office has to use their resources in the ways that make the most sense. And if you take into consideration that 90% of the adults that go missing do it by themselves, on their own volition, the sheriff cannot waste a huge amount of resources, and I'm saying waste, but you know what I mean. They can't use that much of their resources searching for someone that might have walked off. If they know that there was a crime committed, if there was violence or something that obvious, then they will put more into it. So that's where the community and Project Absentis, and I believe it's San Antonio Search and Rescue, I'm not sure the exact name of it. Also EquiSearch of Texas. That's where they came in. They try and fill in the gaps when law enforcement can't. But because we raised a lot of awareness and because the community became aware of Shayna being missing and all of the questions surrounding it, they went out on their own initiative and they did searches. And I truly believe that if they had not done that, that we might never have known anything. Anything at all. Shayna was found at the bottom of a dry retention pond on a ranch very close to her RV. And it's very dry because they are in a very bad drought. If they had gotten a heavy rain, we might not have found her at all. So I will tell you, I am so thankful that we did raise awareness and that she was searched for. So we may not know exactly what caused Shayna's death. We don't know. We don't know if it was self-inflicted, and we don't know if someone did something to her. We don't know, and may never know. I do know Shayna was a victim of domestic violence in her first marriage. And we have recently found out from her mother that because of that, Shayna learned to fight back. She told me about the domestic violence early on, but she never shared that she had to learn to fight back. And domestic violence is a subject that's very close to my heart because I'm a survivor in my first marriage many years ago. I didn't even know what it was. But I know God woke me up, literally, and I left. It wasn't physical, but there's a lot of kinds of domestic violence that don't show. Some of the things that make it very obvious to outsiders, the abusive person, and it could be male or female, and it can be any socioeconomic group, any. I have seen a lot over the years. They control everything. They control who you see, who you talk to, how often you are able to see or talk to anyone. They control if you go to work. They control the money. And they make you believe things that you know better. They will, it's called gaslighting. And they will make you doubt yourself. I believe some of these things happen in that marriage. I don't know for sure. I do know that she was isolated. I do know she didn't work. And I do know she didn't have her own money. I know this because I have proof. We have heard reports that have been verified that her husband would go into work after a weekend and have black eyes. And we were shocked because in the many years she lived with us, there was never any indication that she would become physically violent, ever. But after her mother explained what happened in her first marriage, I could maybe understand that. I do know and understand domestic violence now because in the last 12 years I have been involved in a number of ways, and I'm now on the board of directors for local domestic violence shelter in the Reno area, because I feel it is a bigger problem than anyone knows, and people don't talk about it because it's scary, it's painful. We don't want to believe that of people all around us, but it happens. And it happened to me, and it happened to Shayna. And no, she didn't grow up in it from what I saw. I didn't meet her till she was 8 years old. But it's all over the place. So people have asked, what can they do? And we asked, don't send a ton of flowers and things like that. But what we are asking is I will provide some links below. And first of all, to Project Absentis, who has and is continuing to search for answers as to what happened. They are a nonprofit, they're a 501c3, so I will leave a link for their organization. I'm also going to leave some links for domestic violence agencies, one in Comal County, which is where this all happened. And I will leave the link of the Reno shelter that I am a part of, Safe Embrace. And I can tell you there's so many victims of domestic violence and sexual abuse that you can't even imagine. And we have to stop the cycle. We have to educate people and help them to know the signs and what to watch for all around them. Sometimes in your own family, and you may not even know what's going on. And one of the duties of these domestic violence shelters is to help educate the community, to help them become aware that it is a problem and it can happen anywhere to any level of society, and know what possible things to look for and how to help them. So I'm going to leave links for these organizations, and there's one other search organization that I've reached out to, and he told me that they are not allowed to take private donations. They're a 501c3, but they only accept donations from businesses, but they can't take mine because we're a family member. So if I get his okay for that, I will post that link down there, but that would be for businesses to contribute only. But I also keep thinking, where's the good in this? And yes, we can maybe get some donations to these organizations. That's possible, and I hope that that happens for their sake. Do that in Shayna's memory. But what keeps coming back to me is being told repeatedly that, 90% of the time they just left. They had a mental break, they were depressed, whatever. But 90% of the time they just left. We're still not sure if that happened with Shayna or not. But I do know that we got the word out personally. We made people aware of it. And I know that that's why we helped. I know that that's why her remains were found. Because one good rain and we wouldn't have. So it's very important that when someone goes missing, that they are searched for extensively and quickly. And children, they do. With children, they're going to get the media, and they're going to get all levels of participation to search for them. But I was reading a news report from a local paper down there, and below the article talking about Shayna, it listed how many people in the area have gone missing, adults mostly, that have never been found. And I think it was over 30. And that breaks my heart. Because I had the resources to reach out and to let people know and bring awareness to it. I had that ability. And Brian and his family went out on foot and did this. But how many families can't do that? How many have lost family members that are just missing? And they are not found because they didn't have searches, they didn't have awareness. So I'm going to ask you, I'm considering starting a YouTube channel that will be missing, please help find us. And it will only be to post information about people that are missing, their pictures, their descriptions, where they were, what to look for. I don't want it to be, let's solve this crime thing, because that's beyond me. It is. But if I can help bring awareness to the people that might not even know that they're missing, people in communities all over the place that just by watching these might see or know something, because a lot of them never know somebody's missing. We need to get better at that. We need to. And we need to give families closure. Whether we bring them home or not, there needs to be closure. So what I'm asking is this something that you would be willing to participate in, to watch once a week or whenever it would be, short, just information and pictures of these people that are missing? If that's something that you would be willing to do, let me know. I haven't done anything. I'm not going to yet. I need to get through next week. But if that's something that you think would be a good idea, please tell me below so that I know if it's something that I could do to support these other families. Because we need answers. I thank everyone, so many people that have put the word out, that have prayed, that have sent me amazing messages, comments, cards, telling us that they're praying. That means a lot. It helps us to know that we're not alone. And I thank you all. And I know our entire family, including Shayna's mother, we all thank you. And if you would please continue to pray for us to find the answers, and if someone is responsible, that justice will be done. So thank you, and God bless.